What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline. As always, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel and drop a like on this video. I would very much appreciate it. Well, guys, as you can see, I have another unboxing. Today in front of me, I have the Fishbone Toys Agent Smith, or the Fishbone Toys Z007. Really quickly, guys, we're going to take a look at the packaging here. As you can see, we have a really cool image here of Agent Smith, kind of made up of all the different Matrix text there. I think that looks really good. We, of course, have the Fishbone Toys logo towards the bottom with their email address, which I think is pretty interesting. At the bottom, we have the Fishbone Toys logo. On the side, they were bold enough to put the Matrix lettering, even though this is a third-party figure, so that's pretty cool. Moving around to the back, guys, as you can see, it says the Matrix 1/6 scale collectible action figure, again with that Fishbone Toys logo and the FB-Z007. Overall, a pretty good looking package, as you can see, and I definitely am a fan of that because this is a third-party figure, so sometimes you get very basic boxes when it comes to the third-party stuff. Now, really quickly, guys, let's take the foam inserts out of the packaging and take a closer look at what it looks like when it arrives to you on your doorstep. Here we have Agent Smith in the foam packaging with all of the accessories. Let me get a bit closer up so you guys can see kind of how everything arrives to you. Very kind of sloppily thrown in there. I'm not a huge fan of that, but thankfully it doesn't look like anything got damaged here in shipping. But now, guys, let's take the figure and all of the accessories out of the box and take a closer look at all of the details. And really quickly, guys, I definitely wanted to show you all the accessories laid out together in the light box. Of course, now we're going to go through each accessory individually and take a look at the finer details on each piece. Okay, first things first, let's get the ugly out of the way. If you can't already tell, guys, if you look at these top four hands here and then the bottom two kind of trigger finger hands, you can see a distinct difference in the color. These top four hands, guys, they almost look like they're unpainted. It's very bizarre to me. Also, the pre-installed hands on the figure are that way as well. The only two that actually match the paint on the head sculpt are these two trigger finger hands down here. I gotta be honest with you, these almost look like a raw casting, like they haven't been painted at all. If we get really close, as you can see, it looks like it's not been painted at all. It just looks like colored plastic. There's kind of loose bits here and there on the fingertips. Definitely very unfortunate. That's definitely kind of BS because only two of the hands are actually matching the flesh tone on the head sculpt, so that's definitely a big problem in my opinion. And as you can see here, guys, even the hands that are painted correctly, they don't look very good. There's a lot of loose little burrs and stuff on them. If we get even closer on this hand here on the left, you can see some weird marks in the mold. I don't know, guys. This is definitely disappointing and definitely unacceptable. I don't know if I could reach out to the retailer I purchased this from, which was Giant Toy, to see if they will remedy this issue through Fishbone. But like I said, it's definitely a bit disappointing in my opinion. Okay, next, I'm not going to spend too much time on this accessory, guys. As you can see, this is Agent Smith's Desert Eagle. This is made of plastic. There are some other accessories with this set that are die cast. I'm very surprised they didn't make this die cast. It's a bit disappointing. However, I will say the slide does not reciprocate and you cannot move the hammer on this, so it is very, very basic. I will show you very quickly, though, you can remove the magazine from this pistol. As you can see, the magazine is removed. But overall, guys, as I said, it's very basic and definitely a bit unfortunate that this did not get that die cast treatment. Next, guys, we do have the holster slash harness combo. As you can see when we get closer, it actually is pretty nicely done. I think this is probably the best looking accessory of the bunch. You can see there is a spot to holster that Desert Eagle, and of course this will be put on the figure towards the end of this video. I do think it looks pretty good. I think it's pretty nicely done. I'm not totally sure if this is leather or pleather. I could not find anything stated otherwise. However, if I do find it while I'm editing this video, I will put it up on the screen right there. But like I said, I do think this looks pretty good. Next, guys, we do have our rotary phone here. Believe it or not, this is die cast. I'll try to make it make a noise here. Yeah, you can hear it kind of there. This is a die cast piece. Definitely really cool. Not a piece that I would have expected to have die cast. So if we move around to the back there, you can see this cloth string, which is the phone cable sticking out of the back. And then looking underneath, it's a bit messy under there, but you're really not going to look there very often. But definitely really cool they decided to make this die cast. Again, I was definitely disappointed to see that that pistol was not die cast, but overall, definitely a very cool accessory. Next, really quickly, guys, we do have the glasses here. Believe it or not, these are die cast, which might be a good thing. I know these break very easily, very often, and these are pretty reflective, as you can see. You can almost see my camera in the image there, but definitely pretty cool that these are die cast. Just be careful, of course, when you're putting them on the figure. You don't want to scratch up that paint job, but I'm kind of a fan of that. And finally, guys, last but not least, we do have his little ear communicator here, and then this little metal tie clip that comes with it. Definitely really cool that he includes this, and this certainly completes the look. But now, guys, without further ado, let me grab Agent Smith, and we'll take a closer look at the figure and see what we think of it. Okay, so here we are with the Fishbone Toys Agent Smith. Now, really quickly, I do want to get a close-up of this head sculpt right off the bat so you guys can see. Is it the best paint job in the world? Absolutely not, but it is pretty decent overall. I'm definitely a big fan of the head sculpt. I think the likeness is pretty good. Overall, I don't have too many complaints about it. Again, the paint job is definitely just okay. As you can see, you're probably wondering why there's a hole in his ear. Of course, that's where you plug in that earpiece. So keep that in mind, that's meant to be there if you have that on your copy. Moving down to the torso area, guys, as you can see, the tailoring is not terrible on the suit whatsoever. It's not top tier, but you know, for the cost of this figure, it was very inexpensive. I did not expect top tier tailoring there. I'll even rotate it around the back here so you can see. Not bad fitment whatsoever. It's just not top tier work by any means. Getting close up on that tie, as you can see, it looks pretty decent overall. A little bit of futzing would be required there, but doesn't look too bad in my opinion. We do have some actual buttons there on the coat, as you can see, looking pretty decent. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, you do have two hands pre-installed on the figure. These are the relaxed hands, but as you can see, they're very, very yellow compared to that skin complexion on the skull. So definitely a very odd miss with this figure, in my opinion. Moving down though, guys, you can see the tailoring on the pants. Again, not top tier work, but overall I think it looks pretty decent for the price. And then moving down, guys, as you can see, we do have these polished leather shoes here. It looks like there's actually magnets in the feet, which is pretty interesting. I did not expect that. It does not come with a display base, so I'm not exactly sure where you're meant to magnetize this, but I imagine if you have one of those style of bases like the InArt Joker has, you could probably use that for this if you really wanted to. And looking at the bottom, it looks like it actually does say Giorgio Armani. Very interesting. This company kind of went all out with the copyright infringement, not only putting the Matrix on the box, but the Giorgio Armani. I absolutely love it. You guys know I love the branding on stuff. Overall, guys, I definitely think it's decent looking for the price. So now let's get into articulation. We'll get a little bit closer so you could see on the head, you can get full rotation really any way that you would want. Forward and backwards, side to side, no issues at all there. In terms of the shoulder articulation, guys, you can get a full 90 pretty easily. There's a bit of restriction, but really not much because this suit is pretty loose. In terms of the elbow bend, guys, you can get a full 90 and then some, as you can see. Of course, it'll be the same on both sides. As you can see, having those hands next to the head sculpt, it looks very weird. Again, these very much look like they are unpainted, so that's a bit unfortunate. It definitely looks really goofy. Again, I'm going to reach out to see if I can do anything about that. Of course, I'll share the results with you guys, but I'm sure it's kind of a SOL type of moment with those. In terms of the ab crunch, guys, you can get an okay amount. It's a bit restricted, believe it or not, despite the type of clothing he has, and that is, of course, due to the design of the body, but really it bends as much as I would personally want it to. And then at the hip, guys, we do have pretty decent articulation there, and it actually holds pretty well. I thought it would be pretty loose. It's actually not really loose at all, so I'm definitely happy about that. And then in terms of the knees, you definitely get more than enough bend there that you would want, in my opinion. I will say, guys, overall, there are no ratchets at all on this body. In terms of the articulation of the feet, you do have forward, backward, side to side, full rotation, really no restriction there whatsoever. Well, as I have him in this awkward pose here, now, guys, I'm going to throw him in a couple poses, and I'm going to close out this video and share my final thoughts. I'm torn on this one, guys. I know the figure is only 150 bucks. However, that hand paint being wrong and the head sculpt paint just being okay, partnered with the fact that the tailoring is just okay as well, I think it's a decent figure. Is it a great figure? Absolutely not. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out.